How do you apologize to somebody for taking a portion, most, or all of their life away unjustly? What compensation would you accept in place of your life? I can't think of anything that would compensate me for the loss of any of my life, good, bad, or ugly, because you never know what could have happened in those years once you lose them. How do you let go of dreams unrealized because somebody made a mistake? Intentional or unintentional, the result is the same. It deprived you of a portion of your life or all of it. And then when those mistakes aren't mistakes, but intentional misdirection, intentional deprivation of life, well, that would be murder, wouldn't it? Murder of someone's soul, of their essence. Murder of everything they could have been. And murder of dreams. If Richard Allen had had a fair trial and was still found guilty, I honestly don't know how I would have felt. I would like to think that I would have accepted it gracefully and went on about my business. But that's something we'll never know either, because he didn't get a fair trial. The judge said at the end of the trial to the jury, "You have now heard all the evidence in this case. Nothing could have been much further from the truth." They didn't even hear half of the evidence because there was no nexus. When someone spontaneously admits to not only being at a crime scene, but that their DNA spit is there, when there's evidence of rites and rituals being performed by other suspects of that crime, leading to the horrific death of those girls, when postings are made that foreshadow the death of those girls, when there are many deaths surrounding a case of knowledgeable people who refuse to go along with the state's narrative, none of that creates a relationship or a nexus to the crime. What would create a nexus to the crime? Only what the prosecution thinks should be added? Are we that desperate to have somebody to blame? Well, now we have people to blame. Now we've got people to look down on. A whole family. Because people are hell-bent on blaming the entire family. But we can hold our heads high and put our noses in the air and clack our tongues and talk about how righteous we are. I don't know how people involved can go about their business, how they can sleep at night. I don't know how. Somebody told me once that I didn't understand such things because I think like somebody with a conscience. And those people don't have a conscience. And I think that she might have been right. The only thing I hope and pray for now is that Richard Allen is granted an appeal and that all of the evidence gets in. The exculpatory as well as the inculpatory. But I'm really afraid that won't happen because there are too many people with too much power and too much to lose in this case. Now all their little groups and little families can go on unbothered. Families and friends just go on about their lives. I just don't understand how they can. You know, I guess I knew already that this was going to be a very jaded trial, but I think that I really expected that it couldn't be so blatant as it was. But the judge was just kind of like in your face with it. I'm not going to allow it because I don't want to. And what are you going to do about it? When it actually came down to the trial and the blatant disregard for our rights, even just human rights, I was thinking, wow, this is really real. She's going to go this far. Then I thought, well, maybe the jury can see through this stuff like we all can. Maybe the jury can see what's going on. But they didn't. My dear God in heaven, I can't even imagine being Richard Allen or a member of his family. What a nightmare to find yourself in. And all because you tried to cooperate with the police and help with an investigation to see if you knew anything. I hope and pray that everyone that listens to this can understand how important it is to never speak to the police without the representation of a lawyer. As you can see, even when you're innocent, they can twist and turn things, words you spoke, into a completely unrecognizable narrative. I just feel so badly for those poor girls and the Allen family because nobody has justice. Libby and Abby don't have justice, and the Allens don't have justice. So I hope y'all are still here listening to my video, and if you are, I appreciate you more than you know. And thank you so much for being here. Please take care of yourselves.